What we have seen is a significant increase in access to our youth, impacts on our community with crime. We've seen black market and international crime enter Oklahoma and put a strain on public safety.
In tonight's Big Story Breakdown, we are digging into the debate surrounding recreational marijuana. Right now it is illegal in Oklahoma, but there is a push to change that. Fox 25's Paige Taylor breaks down the arguments on both sides of the issue.
State Question 837 could be on the ballot for voters to decide if they want to legalize recreational marijuana in Oklahoma. And we're hearing concerns from law enforcement.
Nowhere in no state have I ever seen marijuana make safer communities or better communities.
Medical marijuana was legalized in the state in 2018 after voters passed State Question 788, and recreational marijuana could be next. Right now, State Question 837 organizers are in the process of gathering the petition signatures needed to get it on the ballot. On Thursday, the Oklahoma Association of Chiefs of Police President Todd Gibson, speaking on behalf of more than 300 chiefs and police executives across the state.
A recreational marijuana will just open the door to further access to young adults and youth, which the data is very clear. It's not good for brain development. It's not good for mental health. It's not a healthy solution to a successful life.
Gibson says people should educate themselves and read the fine details of the state question.
Some of the things outlined in this state question absolutely tie the hands of not only police officers on the street, but prosecutors in a courtroom trying to maintain justice.
Gibson says legalizing won't do away with the marijuana black market in Oklahoma, but will instead embolden it.
We know from March of 2024 to March of 2025, 87.2 million plants of marijuana was tagged with the metric tags, meaning that's what's growing. That's what we grew in the state of Oklahoma in that year's time. We only sold 1.6 pounds of that through a dispensary. There's 85 million pounds unaccounted for. That's your black market.
Jed Green is the director of Oklahomans for Responsible Cannabis Action, the group behind the state question. He responded to concerns Gibson mentioned, including the impact to youth.
We've been asking as an organization for over 3 years for the Bureau of Narcotics and Attorney General's office to do something about unlicensed, untested, unregulated marijuana and marijuana products and synthetic products that are not even marijuana, disguised as marijuana, from being sold online and in gas stations around the state. They refuse.
Green says he would welcome a public discussion to discuss the concerns.
I think that would be of service to the state of Oklahoma. I believe the state of Oklahoma deserves more of a conversation.
Once the signatures needed have been gathered and verified, State Question 837 would be placed on the ballot next year for voters to decide on. Reporting at the state capitol, I'm Paige Taylor.
Less than 15 years ago, marijuana use was illegal across the country, and now we're seeing the legal status rapidly changing. Take a look at this list. As of June 26th, 40 states, 3 territories, and D.C. all allow the use of medical cannabis products. 24 states also allow recreational use, and an additional 8 have updated their medical use policies to include low THC, high cannabinoid products. The legal changes have also had an economic impact. In 2022, there was a 33% increase in marijuana-related jobs created compared to 2021. According to Grand View Research, the worth of the marijuana industry is about $33 billion in 2023. It is expected to reach over $76 billion by 2030. Now, over the years, many states have elected to regulate and tax legal marijuana sales and its consumption. Take a look at this map from the Tax Foundation. It shows which states have established excise tax rates on recreational marijuana. Colorado charges a 15% excise tax plus a 15% sales tax. Now compare that to Montana and Washington, which charge a 20 and 37% sales tax. And Colorado has been able to make money from marijuana, but it has fizzled over the last few years. According to data from the Colorado Sun, sales peaked during the pandemic, with the state collecting $424 million in taxes. That fell to $248 million collected last year. With half of the U.S. states now legalizing the use of marijuana, law enforcement agencies across the country are raising concerns when it comes to road safety and those who use marijuana. Fox 25's national investigative reporter Angie Moreski looks into whether legalizing the drug is leading to more dangerous driving.
Where were you coming from, sir?
After being pulled over for suspected drunk driving,
9 steps forward, series of small steps, 9 back.
field sobriety tests like this
1, 2.
often show suspects having difficulty
8, 9.
Oh, careful.
walking a straight line. By comparison,
8, 9.
detecting marijuana impairment, as suspected in this case, is more subtle. But law enforcement says not to be ignored.
Marijuana impairs you, I won't say just like alcohol, but it impairs you as much as alcohol.
Tim Cornelius is state coordinator for the Florida Drug Evaluation and Classification Program, part of the Institute for Police Technology and Management, which trains law enforcement across the country.
Are you okay to continue?
Yes.
Cornelius says drivers suspected of marijuana impairment
You're going to be under arrest for driving under the influence.
often falsely believe cannabis doesn't impact driving.
I smoke it, but I'm okay to drive. That's a perception that we hear all the time. You get behind the wheel of a car and you could have the exact same disastrous effects that you would have from alcohol.
An analysis of studies by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety found, on average, a nearly 6% increase in injury crashes and a 4% increase in fatal crashes in states after legalizing recreational marijuana.
Does marijuana use cause impairment when you're driving?
Absolutely, it does.
Enter drug recognition experts, or DREs, like Pinellas County, Florida Sheriff's Lieutenant Mark Easty, trained to detect signs of marijuana impairment on the roads.
What exactly are you looking for?
With marijuana, believe it or not, it's going to be speeding, weaving within their lane.
Studies show marijuana impairs driving by slowing reaction time, affecting ability to pay attention, and impacting memory. And for drivers who combine both alcohol and marijuana, as is suspected in this wrong-way crash in St. Petersburg, Florida this January, studies show impairment is even worse.
And blow.
But it's harder to prove marijuana impairment versus alcohol, where you can use a legally accepted breathalyzer test.
This is just a sterile urine cup.
A urine sample helps, but doesn't prove recent cannabis use, and getting blood often requires a warrant.
These are general indicators.
So DREs are trained to use a 12-step process to evaluate for signs of marijuana impairment.
So we take their blood pressure, their pulse rate, we check their eyes.
Physiological responses like lower blood pressure and eye tremors are indicators of cannabis use that cannot be controlled, so documenting them is key to making a case that holds up in court.
Boy, this is really tricky, isn't it?
It is.
What is your biggest concern right now about cannabis use?
If you're going to use it, use it. Just do not drive.
I'm Angie Moreski.
Oklahoma voters approved a measure in 2018 to legalize medical marijuana, but since then, some say the state has been plagued by illegal drug activity. OBN says Jeff Wing and Tong Lin were both sentenced to 10 years for drug trafficking after being found guilty last year. Court documents show the pair ran a licensed grow operation in Wetumpka and used disguised delivery cars, including a fake Amazon van, to traffic marijuana. Officials say over 7 months, the two trafficked more than 50,000 pounds of marijuana out of Oklahoma.
Night talk shows talking about, Toklahoma and the Wild West of weed. But since 2022, we've identified these criminal organizations, put them under a microscope.
According to OBN, the medical marijuana industry ballooned in our state during the pandemic, leading to transnational criminal organizations establishing a foothold in the Sooner State. Now, illegal drug crimes haven't been slowing down. Last month, OBN announced 9 people were taken into custody by ICE during a drug bust. According to the agency, they shut down an illegal grow operation in Sulphur, where they seized more than 20,000 plants and 800 pounds of processed marijuana. Investigators believe the operation was using a fraudulently obtained OBN registration. Law enforcement also making a bust in Mayes and Craig counties, resulting in 15 people being detained for deportation. According to Attorney General Gentner Drummond, agents began investigating after seeing several cars transporting untagged processed marijuana from various sites in Veneta. During the operation, agents seized more than 40,000 plants and over 1,000 pounds of processed marijuana. Investigators say a Chinese national is now facing several charges. And that was your big story breakdown tonight. You can learn more about that state question that would legalize recreational marijuana here in Oklahoma and the debate surrounding this on OKCFox.com. Plus, you can watch all of our previous big story breakdowns on our YouTube page. Just scan the QR code on your screen or search OKC Fox.